Alright, this is a much anticipated video, the review of rank 1, the all-powerful, the very scary, Lord Hayman. I think he's only dark, right? Does he? Oh, he's not even in the galactic generation? Not technically. He is a Halloween exclusive. So, we all know this is like the greatest monster to ever be released. So there's not much to review since, you already know that he's going to wreck everybody no matter who I put in front of him. But I want to show you his full capabilities just, to kind of pretend that he doesn't, like, overpower everyone in the game. So first, his lore. Lord Hayman. He's a dark and fire monster. After Hayman saved Halloween in Monstelvania, Lord Pumpseed gave him a unique golden pumpkin. Hayman thought of it as a trophy, but he soon noticed that it made him stronger every day. A year after receiving the pumpkin on the night of Halloween, his evolution reached a breaking point, and he transformed into Lord Hayman. Alright, this is his finisher, by the way, just for anyone who wants to see it. It's really cool how he's actually holding the Lord Pumpseed's head as a pumpkin, because the old Hayman was just holding a normal pumpkin, and then Hayman created, it's weird that he's not right there, the fire legendary that ran the game for a while, known as Lord Pumpseed. So this is his head that he's holding, and it's a really cool shout out because Lord Hayman actually created Lord Pumpseed. So, let's find it. Back to Lord Hayman. So his finisher, it's a very fun reference to how they made him the best legendary in the game last year, because I don't even know why or like how SP, which is usually such a business that's like disconnected, finally got the memes. But like his finisher removes positive effects first, so instead of like one of those weird things where it does the denial first or it does the trait disable first and they could have evasion and that kind of ruins everything, no. This is Hayman. He knows how to do it right. He removes the positive effects first, then he disables the traits from all enemies, by the way, this is not one. Then he applies fear and a 3-turn till death countdown. For those of you guys who don't know, because this might be the first time anyone who hasn't seen or used Chronobite is seeing fear. Fear is a denial where the monster loses their next turn and 50% chance of losing the following one. So it's an RNG one. I really don't know how long this chain can go. If it could go infinitely, I'd be surprised because I've almost never seen it go over 1. But still, the cool thing is that it could hypothetically go for all 3 turns and the death countdown will kill them because they were too afraid to like cleanse it away. And another cool aspect of him is that he can do fear and mega possession, meaning that he could deny you for the full 3 turns. So at rank 1, you will have immunity to daze, right? This is obviously the most vital trait in the game right now. Daze has been running kind of rampant, and like there's been a lot of complaints at SP because it was kind of unfair that they were giving so many monsters. Like, you remember back in the corrupted era how they had absolute 0 mega freeze talent, and we kind of assumed it would never get more broken than that. But then we got monsters that could apply daze, and it was kind of broken. It was like definitely nearing power creeping, in this mythic era. So luckily, if you have Lord Hayman, who is the most powerful monster ever, he is immune to daze. Second trait is one that definitely matches him, Gravedigger. He is immune to possession, corruption, and nightmares. So he himself uses possession and nightmares. So if a Lord Hayman versus a Lord Hayman, you can't possess him and you can't give him nightmares. So you can't make him attack his own team. He's too loyal. He would never, Lord Hayman is just, as everybody's favorite teammate, and he just refuses to attack his own team. Then you got Hardened. It's a good umbrella status caster. I gotta admit, I'm kind of like on the sad side they didn't give him like a bulwark, because they always give monsters like this bulwark. The big, lords. In fact, I think all the lords might have bulwark. Because Lord Inheritor has Super Demon. Lord Nabotis has bulwark. So, kind of disappointing, but of course they had to balance this guy out since it was kind of broken for him to have, bulwark. And they decided, hey, if you're already immune to daze, if that's practically already better than having pierce, You might as well have a hardened and not a bulwark. Then you have random torture to all enemies at the start of the battle. This is just really nice. 3 tortures, funnily enough, if it's the right tortures against the right Megaton monster, could instantly kill a Megaton monster. And it's just really nice to have a torture at the start of the battle. And he's a denial monster, meaning that he's going to take turns away from them. So, if they're denied, like, they're afraid, and they lose 2 turns, and you start stacking the torches on him, because, spoiler alert, he does have random tortures, and he does have, like, ignite and nightmares. Without that, you can kill them and keep them denied, and he's a one-man army, really. This is Hayman the Great we're talking about. And then the last one, Status Caster, random area debuff. We all know that positive effects and negative effects, the random ones, have been buffed, and you're definitely going to see it when you use him, because now there's a chance that you get negative effect protection, meaning they can't cleanse away all of the mega denial that your Lord Hayman is, like, sending on to you. So, of course, you want to go full speed. This guy can cleanse before his denial, so there's no worries about you needing someone else to go first. He is the top priority. Relic slots, really amazing. He has, because the old Hayman had a staff, so it's an amazing reference. Because he doesn't really have a staff right now, although Jack-o'-lantern, maybe it counts. When the turn starts, if any allies' stamina is below 30%, gives them 33 points of stamina, and then I gave them a banner. So these are both stamina heavy things, so you really could pick and choose. The banner is the best stamina relic slot in the game, so you definitely want a banner for stamina. I don't know what else a staff can do, but it really doesn't matter, right? You just want him to have stamina so he can chain deny and kill all the enemies on his own. So I'll go over the moves you have at rank 1, because of course I don't have him higher yet, and those are going to be separate videos, because, you know, it felt kind of like I didn't want to anger Lord Hayman by, you know, showing everything off in one video, you know, and he's a bit too powerful for me to take my chances with, so I'm just going to review him at rank 1 first. And I promise you guys I'll have his higher rank videos out soon. On the Cob, deals low physical damage to one enemy. This is just insane. Like, I think we all remember Chieftain Alarok's I'm the Boss. It was massive metal spammable attack, and this is just a ton better, because this is coming from Lord Hayman, who, as we all know, is, like, just endlessly powerful. It's got a little bit of a stamina cost, but 0 turn cooldown. It's a fantastic move. You just have to debate whether you want it or not. Little dry hard. Of course, Lord Hayman is a big fan of arson, so you've got this AoE fire damage plus ignite. 1 turn cooldown, 28 stamina. Against the grain. So here you've got your dot moves. If you don't want to, like, wreck the enemies with his giant damage output, you can just use these dots. Another one, except it's the same thing but with nightmares. God of Cobs, you know. Lord Hayman is often referenced as the god of monster legends, so move over Uriel. So it's actually a move, funnily enough, that Uriel also has, a possession and double damage to one enemy. You know, that's just benevolent of Hayman, giving them a chance to, like, get double damage. Maybe they can actually try and fight back, but we all know it's pointless if you're fighting against Hayman. So, on 1 turn cooldown, 28 stamina. Here we go again. This is I don't know if this is a reference to what I'm thinking of or not, but it's funny that it has the same name. On a 2 turn cooldown, 42 stamina, you activate cooldowns on one enemy. Remove positive status effects from one enemy. So if they had Megaton, if this is a dodge area monster, let's say this is Slumster, you remove the cooldowns, and then you remove whatever positive effects they had. So maybe they had, like, maybe they had a shield. Sadly, he doesn't cleanse before he activates the cooldowns. So if they have, like, evasion, this move isn't going to do much. And then it applies a random torture to all enemies. So the way I see this, since he has so many AoE denials, not exactly at rank 1, but he does have a lot, you could use this for when you just want to stack some tortures on all enemies and cleanse away from one enemy. Maybe you have an enemy who you want to keep chain denied, so that's what I imagine that is for. And he's got decently low stamina cost for a monster who's supposed to chain deny and a monster with a banner, so that really works in his favor. Second, Bad Dream House. This is a move I remember Lord Pumpseed having. Lord Pumpseed being Lord Hayman's creation that actually made him a ton more powerful. Activates cooldowns on all enemies, applies Ignite to all enemies, requires cooldown. So this is his rank 1 denial move. He doesn't have any other AoE denials at rank 1, but you know, that's kind of like they want to entice you to get him at a higher rank, which you need him at a higher rank because his higher rank moves are like stupidly OP. But that is what we expect from Hayman. So an AoE cooldown activation, applies Ignite on a 2-turn cooldown, 32 stamina, which I gotta admit, I feel like these stamina costs are lower, on the lower end for a denier so powerful. Scary Trick. This is basically one little part of the finisher. Deals low dark damage to one enemy, applies Fear, a random negative effect. So if you get negative effect protection, this monster that you just gave Fear, who could just be denied for the whole 3 turns and then Death Countdown finishes him off, it's a really powerful combo. There's really no negative effects that you want to let, like, I get the negatives, random negative effects doesn't sound like the most powerful thing ever, but there's no negative effects that you want to get hit with. There's no negative effects that won't affect your gameplay. So it's always just throwing in that extra torture, because we all know from all of these moves, our Hayman, our great Lord Hayman, likes to torture people. I guess it's just a Halloween tradition. So, you know, this applies the cooldown, the cursed countdown, so that if you're fighting a tank, he could easily deny them with like every kind of denial. Because even in this skill set, he has a cooldown activation single, an AoE cooldown, a Fear to 1, and a Possession and Nightmares to 1 enemy on a 0-turn cooldown, 30 stamina. So as long as you have the stamina, and he probably will since he has a banner and a staff, you can spam Possession and Nightmares. So yeah, he's just unbelievably deadly. Even at rank 1, he's just like Shivakara, where that rank 1 trait, where she also has immune to daze, which makes her really powerful, and dodge area, that's a really powerful rank 1 trait. Just like his rank 1 trait, immune to daze, is really all you need to win a battle. I could literally recharge and he'd end up winning in the end. So what I want to do is I'll showcase the Fear, and then I'll stun you, Curse Baylor, whatever. Okay, look, you see, as I said, it might not actually even be a 50% chance because I've never seen it go over 50. But now look, if I had another Fear denial move, I couldn't deny him again, right? So I cleanse away that immunity, I give him a cooldown, and boom, I gave Sunburn, I gave Poison, and I gave Nanovirus to all of my enemies. So that dot spreading, look at this. Like, look, I'm gonna go back to Hayman. Boom, cooldown's activated again. Go back to Hayman. Lord of the Lords, you're denied. He can just chain deny and give on such powerful dots that you really don't even need an attacker. You could just have a monster like Shadonia or Omnia that just open up more opportunities for Lord Hayman, since he kind of singles the whole game. It might become stale, kind of like when, what's her name? When Spectre got released, she was a little bit too powerful for her time, and I feel bad because Hayman was always going to be too powerful for whatever era he was dropped in. This is Hayman we're talking about. But yeah, he's a great monster. At rank 1, he doesn't have the most usability, but lucky for you, if you're watching this video right now, that means you have him and you have a quest key. If you have the quest key, you can do Hayman's Dungeon and get 200 of his cells for free. And that is actually a lot more valuable than you would think, because there's a sad thing they did to Hayman as a kind of balancing so people couldn't get their super OP Lord Hayman to rank 5 easily. I respect it, but it also makes me upset a little bit, because you cannot rank up Hayman through rank up survival dungeon, because, and it's actually got a decent reason for that, he's not actually in the galactic era. He is in the Halloween exclusive era. And as you know, monsters who are in the Halloween exclusive era are not in the galactic era dungeon, because they're just not. They're not a part of this era. They're in a complete group of their own. So sadly, you cannot put him in this. It's annoying because he should be in the Generation Galactic, but he's not, just like Vampirastral. She couldn't be in her own rank up survival dungeon. But the silver lining is that you can give him Astronite to rank him up. Which means if I go find Heyman the Destroyer right here, look, I can still apply the Astronite. So this is going to be your only real way to rank him up. That makes it expensive, but he's a bit too powerful to just, you know, be able to get to rank 5 easy, just like, you know, some chumps like Elvira Demon Slayer or Shiv. So he's a bit harder to rank up because he's a bit too OP, and I respect that. So, yeah, he's an amazing monster. He's definitely one of the most deadly monsters if you can get him ranked up. If you can't, he kind of might turn out to be like Michonne for you, where she's a rank 2 and you can't get her any higher because he's really expensive. But in my opinion, every other monster isn't as important as Lord Heyman. So you could just be ranking up all of your galactic monsters in the dungeon and then save all of your Astronite for literally the best monster ever, Lord Heyman. So that is about it for this video. This review of the destructively powerful Heyman. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I didn't go over the top, but I think I did. But, you know, this is the okay, I'm joking. But, you know, he is really powerful, and this is a fan service monster where he's extremely powerful and he is gonna be meta, but he's also just kind of embracing like years of memes, and it's just like the greatest thing ever to see. And you add the fact that I'm not even having to joke to make him seem powerful. He is really powerful, just like his former creation, Lord Pumpseed. So definitely worth getting. You can still hopefully let me check. Yes, his breeding is still open for 1 more day and 13 hours. You better start breeding him. You cannot miss out on a monster like Lord Heyman. He is hands down, I think, the best quest monster we've gotten in forever, and one of the best monsters of this era, for sure the best denier. So leave a comment on your thoughts on him. Will you be getting him? Is the he's exclusive and you can't use him in rank up survival dungeon bit too much for you? Are you going to rank him up? I mean, of course you are. It's Lord Heyman, but tell me your thoughts on him in the comments down below. I really love the monster. I love his design. He's really cool, you know, because look, he's got like incense burning on his back. He's holding a hollowed out skull of like Lord Pumpseed. It's, I don't know, it's just everything you'd ever imagined. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. Please leave a like to support the video on the brutal algorithm. Get the word out that Heyman is here. He is free, and he is ready to take over. You know, he is the Lord now. And as we know, Lords are just the most powerful monsters in the game. Exempt maybe a few Lords. And yeah, subscribe to join the Crab Army. I make a ton of content like this all the time, except a little bit more serious and strategy based. I'm just kind of having fun because this is like the biggest meme monster ever. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it helpful. Your favorite Omni-Crab signing out. And I wish you the best in breeding him. Peace.